Okay. Istongonjo Hayadega. Okay. Then we have Istongonjo Hayadega ga. That's more than one. Listen to the ending, gaga. And put that emotion in there because you know that language has a lot to do with how you say it and how you present it. And study your sounds. You know, I get reminded every day how important these sounds are. You know, just yesterday I had a reminder that I had told, you know, people study these sounds, and you know, I could tell this person hadn't studied, not on this class, but in another class that they weren't studying, and I could tell it, you know. So make sure that you study these sounds, you know, even if it's self-study. If you got 5 minutes, do it. Greetings, Jay. Hey, that hand, he's Jay, and you say he's Jay. Or you can just say Istongo. Istongo. You know, this Memorial Day is coming up, and that's thinking of people. And you would, you know, when you think, it's Agithetska. Agithetska. Agithetska is like thinking. And you know, you think about the people, you know, and then actually it's for veterans, so we call it Veterans Day is Solidawa Nita. But Memorial Day, my mom used to call it Solidawa Agithetska. Remembering the soldiers. So, okay, Istongo, how are you? And your response, Dongoros. And you, Jinda, I'm fine. Istongesos. Chihidayat, he goes. You know, just here not too long ago, like I said, I seen this person that I haven't seen. She's been gone 40 years. She didn't exactly say that in Muskogee, but she said, God, it's good to see you. She said, I am so glad that he reminded me, he said, you know, because she said, I've been gone 40 years. And, you know, and I asked about how she was doing, and she said she's back in Tulsa. And you know, my mom used to say, no matter how far away you go from home, you're gonna come home. Because there's only one home that you have, and that you'll go back. She'll say you'll always go back, but this is what the way she told me. She said you either go back and live, or you'll go back and be buried there, but you'll always come home. Okay, so she said, it is good to see you. It is good that I've seen you. And I said, Chimio. And I said, gosh, I know. I didn't, you know, she doesn't know how to speak the language. So, you know, that's how we was exchanging in English. We haven't seen each other in a long time. We haven't seen each other. That's how you do it. Mondos, that's true. Now, I want y'all to listen. I'm talking the way I talk to elders, or in a place where I'm talking to speakers. About that, don't go for luck. Don't go for this. You know, hear that tone? I'm talking just the way I would speak to somebody that knows, like Ella here. I would say, about doggy, don't go for luck. You know,
Strong and foolish.
There you go. And you know, reading and speaking is two different things, isn't it? The tone of it, the sound of it. And actually, when you're speaking, you know, and I'll say, Jinakta, Jinakta. Okay, this is where y'all's going to hear tones. Ajibus, Legibus, this is to a visitor. Dum Legibus, hear it? Ajibus, Legibus, Doc legibus, knock iskida giagigo. You want something to drink? Coffee, ojedos.
Asimanjayat.
I see.
Asimanjayat.
What is ojedos?
Kazapin.
Hidodia tiki.
Sogin.
Yada ligo hido. Yeah, mujanita ligo hido. Okay, I just told her, she said she wanted tea instead of coffee. I said, I have that. Mo ojedos. I said, I have that. And she said, kasapin, cold. And I said, hidodi aktikin. Do you want with ice in it? See? That's how we spoke to each other. Hombit Chidowa. And this is where we never threw away leftovers. My mom said, and back then they walked, like I said. She said, "Isti ilamos chimosiweris." She used to say a person might drop by this country.
Mvhayv, one of the things my grandma used to say, said, hombre yaja, what, just offer it to them. Instead of asking, because she used to say that it kind of sounded like you're asking them, yes, but it was more family-like if you said then that gives them more freedom. But
most of the time they're gonna say no, even if they're not. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was pride or what, but we didn't ask them if they ate. We just told them to eat. And like I said before, when people come over, we just tell them to eat. And my husband, if somebody came over and it was a man, especially, like deacon of the church or something, when they came over, they'd be sitting there talking, and I never listened to them. I was always doing something else because that was men talking. I never got involved with that. I never was right there because my grandma used to tell me, she used to say the men are talking, and so I never was involved. So they were talking, and he would, if I walked in, and asked him they want something to drink, he would go do his head, he would nod his head toward me. And I knew then that he meant, go heat up stuff that we had. And so I would heat it up and I'd come in and I'd say, Dagis. And he'd say, Humbas, we got, and my husband always would eat with them, even though he has already eaten. He would eat with them. Mm-hmm. And another thing we would say was, I like it, ebon jambijas. If we were eating and somebody come over there, we'd say, I like it. We would say, come to sit with us and make it sweeter for us. And they did, and that was another way of saying eat. I say, I like it. And the ones that spoke Creek knew what it was saying, and they'll say that, and a lot of them would say, that I think we can, and they would. So it's we have different ways of making people feel loved, I guess you could say.
Feel at home.
Yeah, feel at home. And for my house, I would tell people that visit, and it's usually the same people that comes to my house for dinner and holidays. And they would say, I say, we're not very good hostesses, you help yourself. So they would, get their own eyes. They knew where things were, because we made them feel at home. They didn't have no problem going to the refrigerator getting ice to the freezer, getting ice, getting their own drinks and just sitting down. Or they didn't have a problem just helping themselves, like after dinner leftovers. They had no problem going to the table, going to the refrigerator and snacking around, no problem. And like I said, I had three, and this Memorial Day, a lot of families will get together. They'll get together, and we're gonna try. I don't know, because I know my daughter. She works in she's essential. She's a pharmacist, so I think she'll have to go in. But afterward, that weekend, we're gonna try to do something. At least, eat a hamburger or something. So that's what we did. There's gonna be a lot of getting together. So that's what That's what this. Okay, here's that nidda allergy job. Remember, we had that. Golgi golichidos, yumuchkidos. Turn on the light first. It's dark. Golgi golichas, yumuchkidos. Turn on. See how there's different ways to say the same thing, but said in different ways. Turn on the light first. It's dark. Or turn on the light. It's dark. It can mean the same thing, but right here it's a golgi golichidos. Yumuchkidos. Gogi religious. Yumuchkidos. But it's said in two different ways, but saying the same thing. Aleket lucky nigias. Get up and move around fast. Pour water in.
Mvhayv, Jabusigat, Yumutski Hagi, Biga, Gogi Golijas, Magidor, much.
Yeah, see, that's saying the same thing.
Exactly.
Saying the same thing. Yumuchkidos, Gogi Golijas. She would say, it's getting dark, turn on the light. See, that's another way of saying turn on lights. It can be dark first, turn the light on first, turn the light, it's dark, or it's getting dark, turn on the light. There's several different ways to say that one little phrase. And that's what, that's why I said the other day, this language is very intelligent. It's intelligent. And Ella, to be able to know this, you're intelligent. And for people that's taking this class, look at the intelligence of it. And even if it's just one way, learn it. Learn it. Because that you're learning something that, and they think our people is not, they thought we weren't even humans at one time. But look at this language. We were more intelligent than, sometimes, how me, I'm thinking out of the box. I'm always thinking about different things. This is not normal intelligence. It's more than just normal. And people says, she's smart or he's smart, but the intelligence is right here.
And when Mvhayv, when you can speak in Creek and you can use expression, you can show love, you can show, your dislike or whatever. But you can say one thing and you can say it in a nice way, or you can say the same thing and say it in an ugly way. And it just being able to express what you're feeling in your heart when you're talking to somebody, especially somebody that comes to your house. If that person is welcome, when you say, "Ooh, Allah kisha sadavachkish, legibus ajias," and you say your tone of voice, again, that tone comes in. So, that's important for them to understand. And I know one thing, I can speak Spanish a little bit, but I also know that I can speak it, but I don't talk it. I mean, I don't know how to express things in Spanish like I can in Creek. And so, there's just the way that you do it. And so I know that a lot of times people have said, well, you don't say, do you talk Creek? Well, to me, talking Creek is using all those expressions of love, welcome, whatever. But, again, if you just say, legibus, what does that say? You can use your tone to do that. And so when, like you're saying, when you hear people that have been using the language a long time, you can hear that tone come out, good or bad.
And that's the thing right there, tone. Remember, we went through tones. Tones have everything to do with language. And like this, and get up, move around fast. You can say that in a humorous way. I like it looking just funny, be not serious, just get up, move around. But then you can say, I like it looking niggas. See, that's more like a order, like we got to get going. You better get up and move around, and that's how these tones. That's how come, right now I'm speaking the way I always, when I speak to speakers. Like now this is the way I speak to my grandkids. Pour water in and take a bath. Is water, jahnet means pour it in. Jahnet. Pour it in what? When you say aglobus, of course it means in the bathtub because that's where situation and environment comes in. Yokalas. I always tell my little grandson, he's the one that just turned 8, and he's humorous. He laughs all the time. Abili Dewey, no matter what, good and bad situation, he'll make something good out of a bad situation and he'll laugh, And I'll say, and he'll look at me and just grin, and he'll say, mm-hmm. And I said, and see, the way I said it wasn't degrading to him, but I can't say, but I say, I call him Fambuji a lot of times, and I say Fambuji. And he'll just smile at me, and he'll go take a shot. But now my husband called that oldest baby, we basically raised her. We brought her home from the hospital with her mama. And of course her mama, then first time mother, and of course me and my husband thought we were the more experienced ones. We helped take care of this newborn. And he called her baby Fum all the time when she was a baby. He go, oh, baby Fum, he'd say, baby Fum, what's the matter, when she was crying, and I would say, don't what baby, oh me yosh, baby. And see, I was baby, in a way, baby talking to her, but she, and it was in a loving way. And there's a loving way to do these, Look for your clothes, and that can be said like in a demanding way or even in a loving way. Look for your clothes. But I could say, Anyon, I'm saying it in a way, you better look for your clothes. And that's like a demanding, I just put them on. Hurry and put your socks on. And we can see the bus coming down our road, and that's what we go through right here. Put your shoes on, and boy, I'll tell you, that boy, he's more worried about his hair than his clothes. He wants his hair combed and braided, but he still don't have no shoes on. How about your shoes? They're still a bag of that. Remember? Da is how about. Remember that. Da is how about. It's still a bag of that. How about your shoes? But look how it's done. This 1, 2, 3, 4-letter word in English is just 2 right here. It's still a bag of that. How about your shoes? Put on your shoes. It's still a bag of adihas. Gather, here's another one we do. Gather your papers up. Jogadi lawyers. Jogadi hidoas. How about your purse? Don't not put it up. That I have that my little second one. She likes her purse, and she's probably got $1 in there. And she looks for it all the time. She's got that. Where's my purse? Where's my billfold? Do not put it up. Sawichka. Remember, Sawichka is keys. Sawichka Jawas. Grab the keys, get the keys. Adamisokchumgas. Get in the car or climb in the car. This is more like climbing the car, but it can be used for getting a car. Adamialergijas. Start the car. That means rev it up and go down the road. Here we go, get into work. I don't get a forfeit. It means to set something down. But that's the same thing as saying park the car or set the car down in a certain spot. It means to announce yourself. But when you clock in, you're basically announcing yourself. It's kind of like, we have to do words that doesn't exactly, but it makes sense to us, okay? And I remember we used to say that, we used to say, my dot, because I'd say, Joga hochejet, writing papers. Joga is paper, hochejet means writing it. Teach the language. Muskogee bunaga mahayet. Teaching it, the Muskogee language. Answer the phone. Sidim buna hoga ayaboske. Somebody just come in there and said, how would you say a dog's water? Dog water. That was a tongue tire now. English to Muskogee, istihetki bunaga. Okay, istihetki. This is English because we don't have a word for English. We have to say person, white, language. The means it means crossing it over. But it would be English to Muskogee. We say that means crossing that language over. So see, we got different ways of saying. We can't say translating it over. We have to say crossing it over, changing it. Changing English to Muskogee. Muskogee magida dimonayet. Muskogee bunaga is language.
Mvhayv, how do you say a dog's water? You got me curious now.
And now I won't try to say it because it's a tongue tire. I had a hard time saying it myself. If imwiwa. I heard imiwa. That's possessive. It's saying the dog's water. Imiwa. Imiwa. And I was like,
inactors.
yeah, you can say that. You can say this water belongs to the dog. You can say, yeah, water. This water belongs to the dog. Inactos. Inact means like I belongs to him. But you can just say imiwa. And that was a tongue tire. And then she said, yeah, that's what they said. Answer the phone. Sidin bonahoga agiboske. Sidin bonahoga means sidin means two people. Bonahoga to talk to each other. Agiboske. Agiboske means answering. Fachalegat homebit. Fachalegat is noon. Fachalegi. Adamadot start work again. Sidin bonahoga ayuboske, answering the phone. Aboka ayuboske, answering questions. See all this, Figabit is a break. Or they'll say ding duck ding break Didik Dungi. Jimmy Dungy. See, those are tongue titers. Start over. Oh, I got another word for y'all that I was gonna. Hadam alleged start over. Hasiskika he did looking at the clock. Hasiskika jakibat osen. It's 5 o'clock. Leak it osen. Leak it osen. We run out of here when it's 5, but today we get off at 3. So, boy, we can't wait till 3. Okay, now I'm going to do this right here. When we have time, it's coming. Okay, look here. This is word for word translation. Golgi is light, and that's any light. That can be a candle, car light. You just have to identify it, okay? Candle, you can't. That's just golgi. But like a car light, you would say adami ingolgi. That's a car's light. You have to put that in there, ingolgi. But this is any light, okay? Turn it on, religious. This is a command. Religious means turn it on. But just look here. Golgi, religious. Look at there. It's almost, it don't say turn it on. It just says religious. And that comes from like an oil lamp, they had to start it. They had to put a match to it. So religious means turn it on, actually. I have to do it now. I have to do some explaining on that in depth right there. Yomochki is dark. It is dos. Alegas, get up. Lupkin, quickly. Nigias is a move, and that can mean like moving like this. Nigias, like I have to say that to my little grandbaby sometimes. He'll be standing with me. He likes to help me. But sometimes he stands right by me and I'll tap his little belly and I'll say Nigias, and I'll kind of push him back Nigias. So he knows what it is now. When I tell him Nigias, tell him to move over. And that can mean move too, you can use that. That's where situation and environment comes in, or you can say somebody Nigias and they're standing there moving, you can do that. Yeah. Either way, okay. Owa, water. But remember, Wiwa is water, but that's using it in a certain way, like a well, Wigewa. Or a spring water, or spring water can be called Honija, wild water, or because it's wild in it, it's just runs on its own. So, or we see Honija. Do you know that spring water that Honija is out that spring water? They used to tell us there was things in there because it was natural. Not Nakapalegi mama much, my mother, Nakapalegi, she said there's something in it,
In Hodipgate?
I know what you're saying,
I'm not getting my mouth to say it either. In Hodopkidos.
Is that what it is? No, Ija I know what you're trying to say. They call it,
It's just I can't get my mouth to say it. In Hodopkidos. In Hodopkidos. How's that?
I think. Okay, that Hondichki is that unusual too, but that what you're talking about is the one, yeah. What was dark complexion? Somebody asked what was dark complexion again. You could say, see, Ognothi is dark complexion. Ognothi, when my little cousin was born, of course, that was my mom's brother's, baby, he said, oh, no, so she does, you know, he was born. But oh, yeah, anytime. That's what dark complexion is. Oh, no, see. Oh, no, see.
In the summertime, they used to say that about me because I'd go to the ocean and go swimming a lot. And so, ugno di hagitos malagido amatsa.
Yeah, you know, well, you know me, I tan, you know, I tan in 5 minutes. If I go out in the sun without a shirt, long sleeve shirt or a hat, I can tan in 5 minutes.
Mhm.
You know, and my kids, they're light complected, but they can go out in the sun and never hardly tan. But now I got my grandkids, they're light complected too, but they'll go out in the sun and they look like me when they come back in. You know, they get oh no longer do how can you eat? Okay. Adihas paper is yoga. Gather them up. Adi lawyer. Sukja is bad. Adi hit, put it in. Remember the hit right there? It. Put it in. Do it. Do us. Dogna is short for money. And shelter.
What about Mahaya?
Uh,
That do it command?
uh,
Mijas.
me just, that's where this do us. Do it
Uh-huh.
first. But this comes from that. Yeah, me just.
Mijas.
Me just. Do us. Me shit. I used to hate that word too. They say midget, me just, and I was like, oh, you know, I hated that word because I was told all the time to do something. But now I'm figuring out, it was teaching me. Because, you know, my mom it'd be hot, you know, and of course, you know, we didn't even have air conditioning in our house. We had to sit under a shade tree just to get, you know, cooled off, but we still had to, you know, we were in the shade, but it was hot. And you know, she'd make us do things and you know, and she wasn't hard on us though. It wasn't like we were spanked if we didn't do it or demanded. She'd just say, help me, you know. Help me, and that was it, you know, but you know, of course, being a parent, she didn't have to holler or get on to us. You know, we did that respect out of that respect, you know. Okay, this is coming up next week, morning breakfast. I have to tap this little hand up here before it. Abogas. Now listen now. Abogas. Abogida is an infinitive verb to get up. Abogida, y'all get up. Right here, abogas, y'all get up. Mom, grandma used to say that to us, and I used to think, oh, yeah, I bet it's 5 o'clock, you know, and it was still dark. Abogas, y'all get up, plural now. Alegida is to get up. Alegas is you get up. Command. Abogas is the same thing. Y'all get up. Okay. It's derived from alegida. Hayat geese. It has turned morning. Already morning. Hayat geese. Home bus is a command. Eat. They are hot. Hey hoyi. Hey hoyi. That's where hey is a base word. And for more than one, hey hoyi, they are hot. Something to drink. This is something, knock, iskida, something to drink. Okay. Pour it in. Ajanas. I got sentences. I just got done with them earlier, but I didn't get them. I haven't downloaded it yet on this one. They are hot. Hey, hoyi, that's plural. If you say chustagi heidos, you say the eggs is hot. But if you say Jostagi, Dagleki dibaga, hey hoyidos, that's when you use it. The eggs and the bread are hot. That's what you're saying. They're hot. Okay? Did y'all get that? Hey Jostagi, hoyidos. Eggs are hot. But if you say Jostagi, Dagleki dibaga, hey hoyidos, you're saying the bread, you see, two, egg and bread are hot. See, that's where you use that. Nak iskida. Nak is base word is nagi. Nagi. Something to drink. Nak iskida. Ajanas. That's where that's a command. Pour it in. Anything. Uboshwa ajanas. Yalaha uboshwa ajanas. Pour in the orange juice. Sada, I say sadatako. Sadatako uboshwa ajanas. Pour in the apple juice. Ashi ajanas. Pour in the tea. See, I pour anything. You can pour anything in, but telling somebody to do it, you say ajanas. You can add anything to this. Okay? Joshtagi, eggs. Abadaga, pancakes. Or some people call them flapjacks, some people call them griddle cakes. And griddle cakes will be like, because I put mine in a cast iron skillet. And abadagi means like this, it's stuck to it, it's against it. So that against it. And then you flip it and it's still against it. So that's what that is, abadaga. Mikuja. Mikuji. Mikuja is supposed to be jack, guys. Bacon. Ikuji is smoke. Now look at the similarities. Ikuji and mikuji. Mikuja. Mikuja, that means the smoke of it. So bacon is smoke. We called it mikuja. And it's saying it's smoked meat, mikoja, bacon. Boy, my bunch likes bacon too. My grandkids, they can eat bacon. Sausage, we don't have a word for sausage that I know of. We just, and it was situation environment. When they said shoka bishwa for breakfast, we meant sausage. They meant sausage. Okay. Takalegoji. Dalegoji, the literal translation for it is little bread, but we call that biscuits. That was biscuits. They'll say dalegoji. Dalegoji meant biscuits, but literal, it's little bread. See how this is going, guys? This is what I'm talking. We can do all kinds of things with this language. And that's why I tell you, I have a lot of respect for you guys that's learning it, because look at, you're learning something that's not just bread, biscuits, toast. You're not just learning that, you're learning little bread and biscuits. Taglek kaspi, taglek ichkupki, that's toast. Taglek kaspi is dry bread, taglek ichkupki is like roasted in the pan. See, you're learning things that's just not just saying toast. You're not just saying toast. But see this taglek kaspi? You can use it for crackers. You can use this for crackers, taglek kaspi. You can use this for crackers. That's crackers too. Look at there. Look how many things you made with these two words. You can say crackers. You can say toast. When in English, it's crackers or toast. But in Muskogee, it can be all this. Not nosa. That's jelly or jam. Not means something cooked. But we know it means jelly because you can say, you can add a word to this, but when they say not nosa, they just mean general jelly. Okay? Jelly. But you can say Basco nosa. Basco is great. Basco nosa. Ibalanosa, strawberry.
Mhm.
You can say, gajonosa, gajo. That's blackberry. You know, my mother used to make plum jelly all the time, and she'd make us go pick the plums, but we knew what we was gonna get out of it. And we picked blackberries to make blackberry jelly. She made all this stuff, jam, but we knew what we was gonna get out of it. And that same day, when she made the jelly or jam, we had biscuits, dalegoji. We had dalegoji so we could eat it. We would be in a bowl, but you know, we ate it not in a jar. She would have put it in a bowl. The rest were in jars. But that part was in a bowl that we set on table. And it was you know, we had to pick it. It was it wasn't hard, it was hot. But there was an ending to it. A good ending to it, wasn't it? That hard work, there was something at the end of this road that we were on that was gonna be jelly. Bishi niha. Niha means greasy. Bishi niha. It means grease actually. But you know, you're saying it's something greasy. Bishi niha. Nihi jamba. Grease sweet, but it means syrup. Nihi jamba. And that's another thing that I've taught my kids is butter and syrup. I'll say, Bishi niha. And they'll go to the refrigerator and get the butter out, and I'll say nihi jamba. And they'll get the syrup out. But see, they also know jamba here. But when we're having abadaga, here, that tells you that they know, see, they've done association, word association. Nihi jamba means syrup. So they kind of know, you know, because they know that. So they're doing like word association. And so I'll say nihi jamba shishas. Or I'll say go get it. And they'll go get it and I'll say bishi niha. And it's butter because they're having abadaga. And it's where their, you know, situation environment, they're learning from that. Friday. Justagi sakmoski. Justagi is the egg, and sakmoski means fried. And this can be anything, guys. Fried bread, fried meat, duck leg sakmoski. Duck leg sakmoski. Fried bread. Abishwa, waga bishwa sakmoski. Look here. Shoha abishwa sakmoski, fried pig meat. See, you can add to these guys, and that's this is where you do self-study. You know, does this make sense? You see what I'm saying? You can do all this just by doing that. Scrambled eggs. Justagi gafagi. Gafagi means whipped up or mixed together. And sometimes they even call it sidiyamgi. Justagi sidiyamgi. That means been stirred up, you know, sidiyamgi. And that's what we usually call it. But gafagi means whipped or sidiyamgi. We put all kinds, you know, see, there's no end to this language, guys. You know. You can put sakmoski to meat, you can put it to bread, whatever you can put. Dako sakmoski, fried fish. Sauteed onions. Dafon sakmoski. You know, okay, right here. Yalaha or bushwa. Anything can go there. An apple, plum. Vasco?
Pagana.
Yeah.
I like Pagana. Pagana Jadido.
Yeah, I do too. I can drink that too. You know, me and my husband has a friend and he always has a peach tree out there. And pick the peaches off when it's time, and of course, it's off the tree. I have to cut around, there's little bad spots there, I have to cut around, but boy, when I make pies out of those fresh peaches, my kids will tear it up. They'll eat that before they eat anything else. And they'll put ice cream on it. And that can be peach juice. It can be any juice, guys, or bourgeois. Anything that makes juice. Waga bishi. This is descriptive. Waga is cow. Bishi is the bags, okay? The breast of the cow. And it's descriptive. But my grandson will walk around going, Waga bishi. He'll point at that. When he was littler, he would point at the refrigerator, Waga bishi. And I say, and I'll hold the milk carton up. That's what he wants, Waga bishi. They're learning a lot. And they're saying a lot. But I have yet I want them conversation, and I'm trying, if I stay with it maybe one day, and maybe even after I'm gone, coffee, coffee, coffee. And that's a Creeklish. I call that Creeklish. But there was a lot of times Creeklish was just saying Creek in English made into it. Coffee. Bishiniha. Not nosa. This is something that's good. And we understood that. So it was so look at, if y'all think about this, this is a very, very intelligent language. Okay, well, I'm gonna go back to these.
Becky,
Yeah.
Mvhayv, so if you wanted to say peach jam, you would say Bagana Nothka?
No, Northa.
Noda. Okay. That TH, I'm not, I can't see it because that R messes me up all the time.
You've been looking at English all your life, and then all of a sudden there's a different way here.
Uh-huh.
That these are.
Noda, yeah.
I
I keep seeing TH sound, and I think, okay, I know how to say that one, but not, not the other way.
That's where, having to switch over, because I was taught English too as soon as I started first grade, because it wasn't kindergarten in my day. It was first grade. And now in my area, it was first grade. I don't know, there might have been kindergarten somewhere else. But we didn't have Head Start or, and it helps, for these kids nowadays. Boy, they got a lot of opportunities, the opportunity is standing for parents and they just take it. Kabadini is boss. Mukchoga. Mukchoga is cream. And you know what that is the top of it. Take the top off. Mukchoga. And that's that milk that comes up, my grandma used to make that, and I remember seeing her make butter out of that. She would sit there and, she didn't churn it, but she would have a quart mason jar, and she used to sit there and just shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it until she made butter. But she took that cream off and we had butter. And, boy, I wanted to do that. So I'd ask her, can I shake it? And she'd say, yeah. And so, boy, I thought I was doing something when I was shaking that mason jar and it turned into butter. But she'd sit there and just go like this and it would turn into butter. And then she took mukchoga. Dragon, danaloga. Danaloga can be used for dragon or dinosaur. And my grandma said she's seen dragons. And to me, that's just awesome. Because we'll never see a dragon. And we see it on TV. We see it in stories. But to actually hear them. Because I know they couldn't have been dinosaurs. It had to have been a dragon. She'd say, Danaloga, Daspa, Nigi Zapohagen. She used to say, you could hear their wings flapping. And she said they were big. They were huge. So she had to talk about it must have been a dragon. Poke salad. Osha. Dragonfly. Dabashana. Daddy long legs. Dabashola. Island. Or the usual once in a while. Do mahi. Moyamats. It happened. Lunar eclipse. Hathisi dibaga. Dibaga means coming apart. But right here, my grandma used to say, Shobakta Loga. I mean, dogas. I am doing dogas. Now, dogas. Okay. The one word, somebody, we were talking about they're doing a curriculum, and somebody said, just me and her, she sat there and she said, Wolfkida, it's Wolfkida, the horn, And then I thought, well, and I told her, I said, they had shell too, that they used. And then I said, there's a name for that shell too. What'd you do? I couldn't remember it. Because I heard that name for that shell. Because, some of these things aren't used anymore. And this is where it gets lost, right here. And I thought of something else. Those big green bugs called katydids? That's gashasha. Gashasha. Gashasha is those katydids that look like leaves, and they got big old wings. Boy, I'm deadly afraid of those too. They're flying around, I'll run. But it's called gashasha. And the horn that they use to blow at churches, I remember, See, you don't hear that. How many uses hokfa? But it's that shell horn that they blow at church. The Creek churches, they'll blow it. But the horn that, the cow horn is wagayupi, but it's called wolfkida. But that shell, you've seen the shell that they blow, it's hokfa. And you don't hardly hear those anymore. That's how come you forget them. You forget them. Because it's not even part, who uses it anymore? I've heard it. But
Mvhayv, Migos up go jogo ma orgiat man, dead steerhead here and some Salt River Pimas, fully don't know what, Navajos, mo fully don't know what, OS, hot dead kim man, Migos up ka, allergies a honey no what man, Wagabi I've been hungit oji donga man wolfki doish.
yeah,
Sunday morning allergies yeah man miji don't know what and the mother tagan hitagat yajagi don't know muy stoin mijachi do stoin. Let's see, how is it? They want to know why we do that. Stoin mijachi do magag, and so muna you do this man so not the mother tagama again, must go give me jagi do is schedule, on you don't fully don't those.
Yeah, that's what they used to do. And there is a few churches left that still does it, but now there's some that doesn't do it, and that shell, I forgot what that was because see, there ain't very many people that knows that hokfa. That's what it's called, hokfa. And then, it's wolfkida, that cow horn. And my mom used to say you really had to have faith in order to blow those. And she used to say if you didn't have enough faith, you couldn't blow it. She used to tell me that,
Mamon don Will Kelly, man akfaske man imoklega gido madok. Ayan no de man hidigan in high given and that both ka godados magen Nakdoa Chansaga men Hadaman Mizagi Dois or Mizagi Doa much.
They still got the bell, but my husband talks about Willie Kelly, and I don't never see a horn there though, so I don't know what they did with it, if there ever was one. That might have been before, but he remembers Willie Kelly, but he probably don't remember him blowing a horn. But yeah, they say you really have to have faith to do that. See, my mother used to say that anything at church was a sacred. And so that she said you had to have all this faith to be able to blow the horn and to blow that shell. Or she said you couldn't blow it if you didn't have it, And she said they'll tell me.
Divige Dage Gonowat man not not Demathagan Mijit Godai Hagi Bidon Osma Magagidu Madis.
Yeah, she'd say if your heart ain't right, that's what Ella said. If your heart ain't right, you can't do those things. And we were told all these things, we were told these things, and it's now as I grow up, as my old lady now, I'm getting these things. I'm starting to, recognize these things, and like Mvhayv,
we were taught the same when they would blow that shell or the horn. We were, even as kids, we were to stop whatever we were doing.
Yep.
Because they were calling us to worship, calling us to, be still, listen, get ready,
Yeah.
But these days, if I do hear the horn or even the bell, and I happen to be at a place at a church, there's a lot of people that don't know that. And you'll hear them, they'll continue to talk and carry on conversations, and they don't get quiet, they don't get still. But so I guess they just haven't been taught.
Yeah, and we need to teach that. They haven't, they used to tell us, stop whatever you're doing. Talking, bow your head. That bell's ringing, that horn's blowing, whatever it was, bow your head. But people will still be talking, and sometimes that upset me. Yeah. And I shouldn't be, it's because they don't know. But that was respect for that horn blowing. That was respect for that bell ringing, because it meant something sacred. Because Mom used to say, she used to say a gold horn would be blown at the end of time, at the end of the day, and she used to tell us that. And that's what I feel like it represents, come together, get ready, get ready to go in and worship. Maybe it meant get your mind ready, like it says, get your heart and mind ready to go in, and they just keep doing it. They talk and everything. My grandkids, I told them, y'all stop when y'all hear that bell and that horn blowing. Stop what you're doing, so they do. And it didn't take much to show them that, I said, y'all stop what you're doing. But I'll see people over here, just even adults, still talking and carrying on what they were doing, like it don't mean nothing. And that kind of upset me because I thought, do you know? No, but but there's this other side that maybe they weren't told. Maybe it takes us to tell them, to teach them. But anymore, it was. Do you want to say something? No. Anymore you can't teach other people's kids. Back then it was like it took a community to raise a child. And even other people got on to me. That wasn't my parents. But it was something to keep me from getting hurt or something that wasn't supposed to be doing. But nowadays, it's not like that. We don't have that communal, They get mad. They'll say, don't tell my child what to do. You know, this is my child. But you know, back then it was a community. It took a community to raise this child. You know. So, you know, but y'all learn new words here. Just Joga, Danaloga, Usha. Dogas. Idawa Hanyoma, Ahagidoa. Now, Bonaga Hatiofa. Dogas means get ready. Dogas or now, actually, now. Idawa Hanyoma. Ahagidoa. What up?
Does Hayoma mean
Now, right now, Hayuma. Right now,
Madonna?
Hayuma means right now or now. It's the way you use it, situation environment and back into situation, you know. And you say ahagidoa. Ahagi, like
Yeah, I thought that's what it meant.
yeah, something like it.
Yeah.
Now is Hanyoma Onaga Haki Ofa. Like white English.
Like now in English.
Now, that's what it is. Hanyoma is like now or right now. Hanyoma now. So say, you know, I was talking, you know, Hanyoma, I say now they don't know. At this time, you know, now Hanyoma. It's not taught anymore. So I say now it's not taught anymore. But I hope y'all wrote those words down like, you know, that's because that may never be used. Never may be used. Because I forgot it. I mean, you know, because it's not used. I forgot what it was. And I was like, I know that word. I know that word. I said, there is a word for it. Could not think of it. I could not think of it. But there, you know, for that shell horn.
Mahaya.
Uh-huh.
I had two questions. The hokta, is it a conch shell?
It is a big shell about this big. And it's kind of got it, and it's got where they can blow it. And they blow that for a church service. Kind of like where did I see that? It was on might have been a cartoon or something that was. But anyway, they blow that horn when church service was going to start. And the other one is a cow horn, a bull, the long horn. They use that to blow too. And that's go ahead.
Well,
Texas Longhorn.
Hang on. Go ahead. There was another question. Just a second.
Well, I was just going to say the shofar is the Jewish way of calling to service. So like when you study in the Old Testament about Joshua blowing the horn, remember that story? And then here in Florida, they blow conch horns, which are like you're talking about. So it's interesting. I wonder where it came from. But I wanted to ask a question about that. Shobata logat? Is the frog eating? Is there a constellation that's a frog?
Sobakta logat means it's swallowing. Yeah, and I don't know why she called it that, or why. I never, you know, at that time I just took what was said. I didn't know why was said that, but she meant the frog was swallowing the moon. And so
the bullfrog, you know, it blows up right here. And maybe if it was dark, maybe it kind of shone in the light, you know.
Yeah, it could have.
Maybe they were describing that. I don't know. That's interesting.
There, you know, and you know, if I had been a little, maybe older and had more sense, I could have asked. But you know, they just, you know, when they told us something, it was set in stone a lot of times. So she'd say, it's like the frog is swallowing the moon, you know. I was like, you know, and it was I didn't even know it was an eclipse until now. Because, you know, we didn't know what eclipse was. It was Shabbat, swallowing the moon. And, you know, when I know now, I told my husband, and he just laughed. He thought that was funny. And it was. You know, I don't know, though. You know,
even the rabbit on the moon, you know, people say it's just, you know, the rabbit, but that has meaning to us. That has meaning to our folks.
It's got a meaning, but you know what? You know, I'm sure that was brought down a long time ago because you know, the nearest we could get to her age, we didn't even know what year she was born, really how old she was, but we guessed 89 when she passed. She might have been older than that. Who knows? She might have been younger than that.
Mvhayv, Mvhayv, Oklahoma hukta giman bukon ako ba naghandon ayo bahanes.
Well, it's Hasid Kahamgado Ibido.
Umundon hayon fikfon hanes andan. Haram, mado.
You have good holiday. Okay, it's Hasiskika, sun measure. Hamga, it's 1. Hasiskiko jihokola, 2 minutes. We are Nibiga. Chihizagati. Chihizagati is Mado together. Like I said, look at the intelligence of this language and what you're learning. That's it. It's good. So Chihizagati, Mado Jigetsaget, Ayibes.
Mado. Have a good holiday.
Dude, we're not going to do nothing. Mado, Thor, Mado, everybody, Mado. It's that. Everybody.
Adam Justice.